I'm Daniel, the past life regressionist, and it's time to begin.
Lift off and the clock has started.
3, 2, 1. This is Timeless Spirituality. Enjoy Eternity Time.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Timeless Spirituality. After nearly 3 years of bi-weekly episodes, we are back to weekly episodes. Thank you. And I do want to remind you guys that I have a new method of past life regression out. It is called the Expanse Method, and this week's episode is all about the Expanse Method. So yeah, it's something. I love it. It's something. Yeah. And you're going to hear all about it. Yeah. I'm really giddy and excited about it. So everyone check it out and use the code EXPANSE if you go book through my website. And there is just a little gift for you guys because I really appreciate all the support. So go check out the Expanse Method. And with all that said, if you would like to book a regression with me to discover who, when, and where you have been throughout time, you can reach me on Instagram at The Past Life Regressionist or at my website, thepastliferegressionist.com. And now, it's time to begin. Kylie, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me today.
You're very welcome. I am excited because this has been a long time coming. For starters, I met you through your Soul Wisdom, the podcast you're on, where there are, including you, 5 very different personalities of women I'm very fond of. I love you guys. I've been on the show, 4 times now, I think, or
too many.
And I love coming on every time. I get excited. You guys have a great show. And I don't know. For some reason, you've always remained quiet during the actual recording.
It is so hard to talk with all those ladies.
But then once we're talking after, because I would stick around and talk with you guys for a while after the recording, and I get to know Kylie that way. Sorry for talking about you in the third person. So I always said to you, I just want to have you come on the show just so I can, talk to you. And I think at some point I'm going to bring everyone else on, but I always wanted this. And then I don't know.
First. Let that be known. I'm first.
Yeah. Well, I think the universe kind of even intervened because you ended up being a winner of the contest for the free session giveaway. And I had 2 different categories, one where I was picking out of a bowl and then one where I chose based off of a comment. And you ultimately won by getting picked out of a bowl.
I knew that, by the way. I planted that. Yeah.
Yeah. It works out beautifully. So, I'm so happy that you won. I'm like, that's not to say I wouldn't have been happy with the other winner. Okay, I don't know why you need to do that.
No, let's not go there. You're
I'm
happy I
it was
won.
You.
Yeah,
I totally rigged it, if I'm being honest.
Absolutely.
Kidding. No,
and
I
helped too,
Maybe I
energetically.
Did. Yes, no, I did.
That's okay.
Okay, yeah. But anyways, it ended up working out, and I'm happy to have you here. So you want to just tell everyone just a little bit about who you are before we dive in?
So I'm Australian, but I live in America.
Awesome.
And landed here, and I was taught in Australia the English way of evidential mediumship. So I'm an evidential medium, and my jam is dark stuff.
Awesome.
So I love, give me a ghost walk where I can go in and release some demons. I love releasing demons from people. So that's pretty much it. I like dark stuff.
You guys gave me a fucking demon hunter out of a bowl. Thanks.
That's right. because we bring the party. That's all I can say.
Hey, look, I did get a wide variety of people in the contest who won. So, of course, yeah, all right. Seems about right.
I think it's accurate. And, we did encounter a demon during our session too. So I bring it on all levels.
Yes, the Expanse Method can bring stuff up like that. That was the only time I've encountered that so far. Let me just be clear. Or I've scared anyone away from the method.
No, that's fine. It's just me. Yeah. It's just me.
So
Was that a good enough explanation?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay, good.
That's cool. What was your experience with past lives or past life regression prior to doing the Expanse Method?
So for me, it was just remembering. So there was like, I'm really big on ley lines. So I had this draw to go Death Valley forever. And that's probably one of the
Really
the
quick, can
reasons
you
why.
explain what ley lines are?
Ley lines are energetic, like grids that surround the earth, where maybe there is an artifact in a, like a Egyptian pyramid or like Mount Shasta or whatever it may
No,
be.
there's like supposed to be like 9 points or something like that, right?
Yeah, I
Or
don't.
more than that?
Yeah, something.
Like key points.
We'll go
yeah.
with that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, don't quote me on that. Yeah.
No, yeah. And so I believe that we all have our own personal ley lines where we can go and collect information that maybe our past life self had left for us, or an energetic event that had happened in that location. So I was really drawn to Death Valley and had to go. And I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. Went to Death Valley, had like an absolute experience on the floor of the valley, came back with my guide, knew that there was Native American Indian energy around me. And that was where I started remembering. So I remembered Native American past life stuff. I remember wars. I remember witch trials and being persecuted. Remembered my husband put me on the stake because I married him now as a punishment for no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he burnt me on the stake. This is his punishment now, as being in a lifetime with me now. And that was pretty much my extent. And nothing professionally done, just trusting the process and finding my way through it.
Death Valley, huh?
Death Valley.
Kind of fitting.
My jam. You would think an Australian would be like, oh, beach and rain, rainforest or something. No, I wanted as arid and dry as possible.
Yeah, just drop you into the hottest place on earth.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Quite literally. I mean, in our modern age, highest recorded temperature on the earth.
Goes with my demonic, love and self, really. It's the hot, the dry. Yeah. I know. I
can't imagine why Native Americans would want to live in Death Valley, though. But that's neither here nor there.
It's beautiful, though. And who knows?
I mean, for a certain part of the year.
Right. But who knows? Maybe the climate's changed and maybe we fucked it up and maybe it was a massive river 9 times, 9 months out of the year or something. I don't know. It's a great place to go, though. Yeah. A lot of spiritual stuff there.
I'll have to go at some point in February.
Chicken.
Look, I don't want to be there.
Go in August.
Why?
No, I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
If I want to go outside for a walk in August, I'll go during the middle of the day because no one else will be out. But
it's true. And that's probably why I like it, is because there's no one there. No, I'm just kidding. That makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we'll have to dive into that, why you don't like being around people another time. It could be a whole past life thing.
I love it.
So something I remember from your session was right before we were about to, dive in, you said to me, I'm feeling a bit anxious.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think it's normal. I think for me, when you really are ready to learn something about yourself, to heal, to discover something, I think there is a natural anxiousness. And I think that I'm going to be bold and say, if you're not anxious, then maybe you're not ready. So going into that anxiousness is kind of what really I was able to kind of propel it into more grounding and more sense of awareness of what was going on during the session. But that's my stance on the anxiousness.
I ask that because I've seen that happen a lot more with this method, where someone will say to me right before the session, I'm feeling really anxious right now, and I don't know why. With the other methods I do, I would hear it from time to time. But this time, I'm like, whoa, I'm hearing it all the time. And what I've seen with this method still, of course, I'm doing my shameless plug. I'm just going to call a spade a spade.
Absolutely.
The Expanse Method, go check it out. Expansemethod.com, or you can look at it through the pastliferegressionist.com. Everyone is confronted with something at one point during a session, and they have the choice whether or not they want to look at that thing. Because in the other methods, I would say less than half the time, someone is presented with something heavy. But every time it's come up when I've done this. And I've just had that feeling of some of that anxiety has come up because I think on some level, everyone is known. I'm going to be confronted with some shit.
That's right.
And I think that that's great. And I don't want to dress this up in a bow right now. I think that you have to feel uncomfortable to have true healing.
Absolutely. And I think that when I think of past life regression, I think of viewing into the past to maybe help define where you're at in this lifetime. But when you're going into this expanse method, it's a whole different approach. This is like if you are willing to go into this session, you are willing to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Has a whole different energy around it. And I know that being, a medium, there is a certain level of prep work that happens energetically before going into one of these sessions. So even if you're not aware of it or not, I did feel my guides coming in, holding my hand during it because they knew what was coming for me in that. And it was really profound.
Oh yeah, we're going to get there.
Okay, sorry, slow down.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I'm just excited because, I love learning stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was great because I have a lot of admiration for the people I've done sessions with so far with the Expanse Method. You're probably going to hear me say that a lot, the Expanse Method. I want to...
.com. Yeah.
.com,
I get
the
it.
Expanse Method. And that was 3 times. I've had this done to me a couple times, and I've struggled with it. If I'm being completely honest, I've struggled with it. I've felt emotions come up that feel foreign, and I don't understand why I'm starting to feel them. And there have been those times when I've had it done where I'm like, no, another day. Another day. Not looking at that today. I have to say that because I think it's only right to admit that it's difficult for me too. There have been things I have confronted, but then there have been times I also haven't wanted to. And I don't know if what I ended up confronting in a subsequent session was what was going to come up when I decided not to or look at that thing. Or maybe it was something different. But whatever the case, I think it was cool that I had a choice and that you had a choice and you decided to,
balls to the wall. Let's go.
Let's just call a spade again. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Balls to the wall for you. You did it. So what
balls
you got?
Balls to the wall. Yeah, absolutely. And what's different is that when you have someone who's holding space for you, such as yourself, it allows people to really sink in to that. So immediately I was anxious, but I was put at ease because you are very grounding and supportive. And I don't think that a lot of people could seriously hold that sort of space on these sorts of sessions. So you could pick it up and put it onto someone else. It wouldn't be the same experience.
That's why I couldn't confront it.
Because look.
Because I wasn't doing the regression for myself.
Right. In all seriousness. You need you to hold your own hand. I know. Yeah, I know.
That'd be something if I could do a regression for myself.
I know.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. It
is. We'll call a spade a spade. It is what it is.
Yeah. I don't have to say anything else.
Okay.
Yeah,
ExpanseMethod.com. Yeah.
Yeah, even ExpanseMethod.com. I bought that domain too, just in case.
Did you really? What is the main domain?
The Expanse Method.
Okay. Expanse
well, either one, I guess, because it just takes you to my website.
There you go.
Yeah. Look, had to.
That's fourth now. You can pay me later. I don't think that you give yourself enough credit during those sessions because there was a lot of heavy lifting, especially mine. I can't speak for everyone else's, but it does take a certain personality and a person who's done the work to be able to hold that energy. And I'm curious as to, do you think your past life regressions were the way in for you to be able to hold that? Like, have you done a lot of the work? Like, where do you feel like that comes from? Do you own it, firstly?
Yeah, no, I own it.
Good.
Because the truth is, I do step up in those moments, and I do think it takes a unique person to be able to really facilitate a session like this. I think everyone has the ability to do it on some level. I think that there are people who are far better than I am, but I do think that it takes a unique person to really be like, yep, I'm going there with you. Let's do this. Whatever comes up, comes up. It's all about you in that moment. And I am someone who admittedly has my issues with my own ego. And I'd like to believe that I fully check my ego at the door when it comes to regression. And I think I do a pretty good job of that. You do.
I think, look, we've all got ego on some level, but I think if you're aware of it and you're able to kind of acknowledge the difference,
Mhm.
And I didn't notice that at all during the session. Like I felt very authentically, with you, grounded, protected, everything, guided. I didn't feel any ego.
I appreciate
So you did a
that.
good job.
Because I mean, that's
Kudos.
always a question I ask myself. Am I asking this question right now because I want to know the answer? Or do I truly believe that it will help the person I'm doing the session for? And I'll be still the first to admit, earlier in my career, there were times when I was asking questions because I wanted to know the answer to it.
Right.
And I mean, I think it's all a learning process. But
Absolutely. Yeah.
no, I mean,
Of course.
I do own it, but it also has to do with the person who I'm doing a session with, because I'm only able to go so far. Because if someone is completely closed off, it doesn't matter how good I am, because they are in control. Like with your session, I believe we had success ultimately because of you, because I'm pretty much the same every time. I will always tailor it to the person, but I don't really change much session to session. It's, same me, same tone. Well, I'm doing some different stuff with this one, which I'll say it right now. And this is a part of me that I think I lost along the way, was a very no nonsense approach. And that came from fear, because as you and I, is it okay if I briefly touch on the conversation we had before without any specifics?
Absolutely. I couldn't. Yeah. Go right ahead.
Working in this space, I work with some amazing clients. Absolutely amazing. I don't like using the word absolute because it's an absolute, but I'll say it. Some absolutely amazing people. The overwhelming majority of the people I work with are amazing, but there's always opposite ends of the spectrum. And this field also attracts a lot of very broken people. Now, just because you're broken, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. And even some of those people who I said are amazing could be very broken, but it's just the way that they go about things and the self-awareness that they have. But when you have people with a lack of self-awareness who don't really want to take accountability, you become public enemy number one if something comes up during a session and they don't like what they're feeling.
Absolutely.
So a few years ago, I started to become very, very fearful of that. And like, if I push the wrong button with someone, doing what I believe is in their best interest, are they going to go scorched earth on me because they don't want to look at their own shit? And I think it did limit me as a practitioner. That's not to say I haven't had success in the last couple of years, but I often found myself at points saying, I know I should be saying something right now, but I'm afraid.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to play it safe. And for this method now, I'm not playing it safe.
No, you can't. Because you're doing them a disservice at that point. And you have to trust. We had this discussion. I've had absolutely amazing clients too, but I've had some really challenging ones last year. And you get to a point where it's like, okay, universe, if you want me to do this work, you have to meet me halfway. And why are you giving me these really challenging clients? Like, I'm not talking, you didn't like the fact that I said that this guy you're dating on Tinder isn't compatible. You're upset because there is clearly an undiagnosed something going on behind the scenes. And now you're looking at my address to find where I live. And you've got to get to a point where it's like, okay, I am now hygienically, spiritually clean. Like, I'm coming in with full intention of doing the best I can, not filtering. I can't be a disservice to people. So I'm like, universe, if I'm doing this, you have to meet me. And so far it's been met. So I'm very upfront in the beginning. And I think that in these methods, you can't filter, and it hurts. Some of it hurts. Like, I came out of mine with you and I was like, I did not expect that. And it changed my whole perspective. Was I prepared? No, I was not prepared for that. But what a heartache and a reward it was.
You mind if I ask how it changed your perspective?
I always thought, so the essential thing of because, demons, right? That's my jam. So I really felt that what came up during my session was I did awful things to people in my past lives. awful things, like everything known to man. And because I've done that, there is nothing that I can't face. I have no fear of anything because I have literally done it to people. And I was confronted with that in a visual, energetic, every single sense, experienced that during that session with you. And coming out of it, I realized that in this lifetime, that doesn't make me a bad person. And it's not because I'm attracting demons that I'm a bad person. It's because I can access it because they can't hurt me anymore, you know? So that's where I found. So I can walk through life feeling virtually indestructible, energetically speaking. Energetically speaking, I'm not going to go like, you know,
Jump in front of the train
16
or something.
shots of whiskey and, you know, I'm not going to do that. But, you know, energetically speaking, I could walk to the pits of hell and be like, come get me, bros, and nothing could touch me. And that is so empowering. It wasn't just healing that I'm a bad person. It was I can do anything and I have no fear energetically.
How is that the correlation that you drew with what came up during the session? I'm curious.
I don't know. It's just the feeling. It's just that sense of knowing this is because I was, okay, so if I back it up, me coming into the session, I knew I needed it. I knew I was going to win. It was not negotiable. I was waiting for my name. It just is. So I was waiting for my name. And I'm like, there is something in my field. There is something in my field that doesn't feel right and it's going to come up. And I'm pretty good at doing work on myself. I'm no bullshit. I'm like, get it fucking out. Let's do the work. What do I need to do? And this one was kind of that really like spicy little pin pricking. Anyway, so I knew something was coming up. I did not expect that. And coming out, so I had no expectation as to what it was. But coming out of it, I just knew that was the pin that I needed to pull out that was poking me. I just know. And I think it's just trusting. And you somehow, and I don't ask me because I don't know. And it's maybe because I was up front in the beginning and you kind of reassured me, look, it's okay to be anxious. We're going to ground. You took extra steps to build a safety practices, protection, grounding, but I trusted you. And I don't normally trust a lot of practitioners in my space because it's a very delicate balance going on. But now I don't feel like I need that delicate balance. And that's just it. My no bullshit response.
I appreciate that. What do you mean you don't need that delicate balance anymore?
I don't, because I don't fear anything energetically. I don't need to I need to Bible myself. I need to release it every evening. I know that whatever is there will be ricocheted off. Anything that needs to be grounded will be taken care of. I'll just go and pat a tree and I'm done. Or I'll, whatever, it'll be done automatically without me putting any thought into it. And that is empower. So do you see all these steps of empowering? Like, it's just like this empowerment that's like trickles down on everything. And who would have thought going into it, that's what would have taken place?
I mean, I had no idea. I'm not surprised after the fact, but I have no idea what's going to come up.
Right. And that's just what happened. And you have to be ready for it. I think that if you are not ready for this, you're wasting your resources.
Mm-hmm. I still offer the other methods. So
sure.
Yeah.
That's great. But this is the one, because if you want major, I'm ready for some energetic surgery. You're not going to go get Botox. I'm not saying everyone needs Botox. I get it. I get it. But sometimes people want the actual facelift, and this is what would do it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bring up the other methods because if you don't feel ready for this, that's why I'm saying I still offer the other methods.
Sure.
It's not to say that you wouldn't get something out of this one, but I just don't think you'll get as much out of it if you're not ready to really go to war. I think that's the best way to put it. You're not only just going into a little skirmish.
No,
it's
you fight for your life at some points, but it's a good way because at the end of the day, you're not doing it in vain.
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge reward at the other end of it. And you can choose, you gave me an option, do you want to do this or do you not? At every point. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to do it. Get in there. Let's go.
Not everyone has done that so far. And that's okay though. But that's what I mean about, I don't think you'll get as much out of this method if you're not ready. You'll still get something, but I just don't think it'll be as profound.
Right.
But yeah, you still have that choice. You are still fully in control. That's something that I think is different with this method as well.
Exactly.
Is I think you are more aware than in the other methods that I do, because it ain't all rainbows and butterflies. Let's put it that way. It's not just.
I didn't choose that way. I don't know. Is it possible to be like, I am amazing and I was Mary Magdalena in a past life and I am here to bestow my, like, have you ever had that before in the
not an
Expanse method? No. See?
I've had people walk away without confronting what that thing may be. I think oftentimes people will convince themselves they found the magic pill. You know, even, and look, I think that this method can do amazing things. I've had tremendous success as a past life regressionist for nearly a decade now. But I think that there is a false sense of empowerment that often comes with doing anything in this realm. So I've had people walking away saying, this transformed my life. I will never be the same, but for the better. And as a practitioner, I fully want to believe in that, but I can't. Because
is that because they didn't go through the full experience?
Yes. But I could be wrong. Maybe I just still haven't fully got a grasp on this thing to see what it's capable of doing. And that maybe you don't need to literally go through the gallows and then everything that gets excreted from the gallows and then end up in this. Maybe you don't. Maybe that's where my philosophy is flawed, because a lot of this method is based around the philosophy that I've kind of drifted towards over the last decade, but especially over the last couple of years. And this next question I want to ask you, because the other methods that I do really preach releasing. You know, it's about forgiving and releasing. While I think that that could be beneficial, over the last couple of years, more and more I've been looking at it, I'm like, I don't think that that's the way to do it, because I've had this feeling also that someone who was a medium once said to me, you know, who had mediumship abilities and was really questioning using them. And they said, I don't know if I should, because how would God feel about this? And my initial impulse was at the time, why would God allow it if it wasn't meant to be done? But then I thought about that after, you know, that statement. And I started thinking about all these things that we have at our disposal on the earth. Everything that we have, just whether it be food or chemicals or mineral, whatever it may be, when humans figured out a way to engineer weapons from these things that were placed on the earth, just because it was there, did it mean that we should? So just because we can, doesn't mean we should. So I thought just because we could release meant that we should. But as I've been peeling back those layers, I'm like, free will. Maybe just because we can doesn't mean that we should. So there's one part in your session that I took a radically different approach than I would have taken with forgive and release. I'll hand it over to you in a second, because I'm sure you're going to be cool talking about it. Where I would have had you previously, I would have had you look at that thing and I'd say, okay, I want you to look at it and I want you to forgive and release it and let it go. But this time I said, I want you to go pick it up.
Yeah.
So do you want to
So I think forgiving is bullshit, number one. So I'm really glad that didn't come up, because I would have rejected it straight away. I think that sometimes some things that people do are horrific. It is what it is. You can't change it. And it's not about forgiving. And releasing such an ambiguous word, right? Because I think releasing is also attached to our ego. And releasing feels good in theory, and it gives us validation that we've done something. So forgiving and releasing, I think, plays too much into the ego. And I think that I needed to confront that. And that was horrific to confront. I'm just going to say it, you know, people that I killed in a past life, confronting their lifeless bodies. And it wasn't about forgiving anything. It was about just accepting it. Doesn't need to be released. It's a part of me.
Exactly.
And I think as practitioners, we chase that dragon of releasing and like, yes, we did it. And yes, the exchange has been made and I've done my job and I can go about my day. But that is what's really nice about your session, and that you tuned into the fact that I don't subscribe to that. And it was that acceptance piece. And I think that there's also, even if you have clients who aren't willing to go into that forgiving, releasing, acceptance piece, or whatever you want to call the outcome of the session, I really feel like energetically they're taking something with them that they get to then deal with in this life. They get to hold it, they get to accept it, they get to, if they want to release it, but you're giving them the guidance to confront it. And this is kind of what's coming up in their energy. So I think that is also doing them a service. I don't think that that is a failed attempt or they're not willing to do the work. Sure, but it's just leading the pathway back to healing, whatever that is. Did that answer the question?
Yeah, I think, but I want to comment on the last part, because
Yes.
what I've noticed when someone wasn't or hasn't wanted to confront something, it's a feeling that comes up right before they're about to look at whatever that thing may be.
Mm-hmm.
What's also different with this method, there is a standard induction, and the induction is where I get you to that spot where, you can get to the regression. There is a standard reemergence where it's bringing you back. But everything in between, yes, there is a formula I have, but I do not have a set way of being like, this is the way I say this to move someone, or this. It's looking for clues along the way and basically building off of what you're saying to say, this is how the transition is going to happen now, or being presented with this and that and this and that, giving them choices at some points. And it's looking at something without fully looking at it, and they get a feeling, nope, I don't want to look at that. Well, I would encourage you to look at it, but you don't have to. But I would highly suggest that you do. No, I don't want to. Okay. All right. That was to the right. Then we'll go to the left. I think at least in that way, how it can be beneficial is when someone walks away from that, at least they know there's something I need to confront that I wasn't ready to look at. So now I need to work towards becoming ready to look at that thing.
Right. So could I throw out a question?
Awesome.
How would you feel if someone wasn't ready because they were fearful of what they were going to be confronted with, and you asked them to be the proxy, and you go through, because you have an intuitive self, and I know that that's not your main clutch in life, but you are very intuitive, and I know that you were there with me in many aspects. I know. I'm putting you out there. I'm putting you on blast, because there is something bigger in these sessions that I don't think people fully appreciate, is that if you are there and seeing, even if it was on a screen, like in your own third eye, and you're seeing mind's eye or whatever, and you're seeing a screen and you're watching this movie unfold in front of you, could you theoretically help them push through that barrier with your own next steps of what you're seeing? Because I know, I have a feeling, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you knew what was coming maybe 3 seconds before I did.
I will neither confirm nor deny
Okay.
the statement.
So I'm just saying, how would you feel about doing something on behalf of someone? How does that make you feel? Am I going to Dr. Phil you? How does that make you feel?
When you say doing something on their behalf, what exactly do you mean? Do you mean like me picking it up for them, or me confronting it for them?
Yes.
Or
at least verbalizing what you're, experiencing. Could it, like if they're confronted with an issue, could be this or it could be that.
I do that, but in a different way.
Okay.
Where,
because you didn't have to do that with me, because I was like, here I am, let's go.
Well, I did it with you a little bit.
I get it. Okay. I wanted to go the demon, not the journey, but that's okay. Fine.
Well, we can say, yeah, we'll talk about that different time. But when you were interacting with someone and you said something where I knew, but I'll just put it that way, I knew that something was trying to trick you. Okay. And I think this is also where me kind of taking the gloves off now also factors in, because over the last couple of years, well, I'm going to go back even further. One of the things that I was taught when it comes to past life regression is keep everyone out of their brain. Don't let them think.
Okay.
And if they start questioning themselves, they're going to take themselves out. While I can understand how that can be, what I also saw that did, it didn't give me space to question them, because I was so worried that if they're questioning what's coming up right now, is the session going to be a complete loss because I've taken them out of that space? But then I realized I'm doing a disservice by not calling bullshit on something when it's obviously bullshit. Like there were other ways that I would go about it.
Right.
And now I'm just like, yeah, no, I don't think so. Is that really what they said? You know? And there was another episode I recorded about the Expanse Method, and I think it'll probably be released before this one, where I literally said to her in the session, that's a bunch of bullshit. But when we talked about it after, she's like, I see why that was necessary. I'm glad you did. I think that's where I can work by proxy, is by inserting myself in that way, because I still don't feel it's right to carry someone, or not carry them across the finish line, but literally pick them up and hoist them on my shoulders, because then they're not fully doing the legwork themselves.
Gotcha.
But that's the other thing now. It's no nonsense. I'm done being afraid of what someone's going to think. They question themselves, fine. If it's blatantly bullshit, but see, I have to also say this, and I don't mean to scare anyone. I do think that there are things out there that do jump into these spaces and try to influence you. I don't think it happens all the time, but for someone like you, who we didn't ask many questions about the complexity of the grip, because I don't feel it was necessary to gather that information, because I think that would have been more intellectually stimulating, as opposed to just, let's get rid of it. So walking in there, and because also one of the things I was taught is that, oh, no, trust the information that comes up. It's going to be clear. One of the things I'm also leaving out of this process, I know I'm jumping around a lot. I've left out the higher self portion, or the portion where we talk to what is deemed the subconscious or superconscious, or the SC. Superconscious is more, again, terminology gets wonky. I've decided to leave that out for a couple of reasons. One, I think it takes away power from you, the individual.
Yes.
Because it's like, oh, let's go talk to my higher self for my higher self to give me the answers, because then you become reliant on, well, I got to talk to my higher self if I need to consult something, because how can I trust myself? Left it out for that reason. Another reason is I'm not entirely sure what we were talking to. Just because we say, let's bring this in, how do we know that is what we're talking to? How do we know that something else didn't slide its way in, or just say, yeah, I'm the higher self. Yeah, that's me. I'm coming in. I've been here all their life. And, you know, I was there when she fell down in the third grade. Maybe you did fall down in the third grade. Maybe some little booger over there was also watching when you fell down in the third grade. Maybe he was looking over your spirit guide's shoulder, or whatever it is. How do we know? So that's why I'm like, no, leave it out, because we don't need that. And I'm taking so many extra precautions right now in this process to suss out everything. This thing that is presenting itself this way, is it really what it's presenting itself to be? And what's the worst thing that happens if I say, are you sure about that? You say, yeah. I'm like, well, okay. You know, I may find another way to ask you, but what I'm doing though, I'm trusting myself, because yes, there is a part of me, I'll say a part of me that is there with you. And we're like, this little girl with the pigtails. You know, it's just, yeah, I don't know about this little girl with the pigtails. It's one of those things that just seems like, you know, the red herring or whatever it may be. I don't know, like, or when you're watching one of those procedural shows where they make you think it's someone, but it's really not that person.
Right.
And something that's coming to try to throw you off the trail. And that's where, the no nonsense bullshit thing comes in. Because again, the other part of me and my ego was worried also that if I called you out, I didn't call you out. That's the other. At no point did I ever say to you.
Yeah, no, it didn't feel like that.
It was just like, it was a double check. It wasn't just accepting what you were saying. But then So I'm going to drift again, because I think what I've also realized about me as a practitioner, and by proxy others who are practitioners who may not be aware of this, there is a different glow that comes out of this process. And it's not as exhilarating as the glow someone would come out with in the other processes that I facilitate, because that's more feel good. And
Right.
the way that they come out of it, it really plays to your ego as a practitioner. Whereas with this one, it's like, it ain't about me and my ego. They can come out saying, yeah, it was okay. All right, awesome. It's not about me though. If they're radiating in that glow, I don't think I've done my job, because it's been too light. So I think that's where it's, coming to this place where I don't need everyone to like me.
That's the key. And I think that that's what a lot of practitioners miss, is that this is not an industry to get into for pretty Instagram or social media. Like, if you're authentic in this space, you will have haters. You will be hated. You will be blamed for everything. And you have to be strong enough in your own sense of self to be able to navigate and not take it personally. And that's where a lot of people start making or breaking it for themselves.
Exactly. I mean, I agree. And yeah, I mean, thank you for recognizing that, because I think that that's what all of us as practitioners really need to look at, because we're not perfect.
Absolutely not.
Just
Look at me.
Sure, we may be able to help people in ways that other people aren't, but that doesn't mean that we're not deeply flawed ourselves.
Right.
And that I'm not above my ego. I'm not. I'm working on it. All I can do is continue to cultivate that self-awareness to see where is my ego playing into this right now. Just really looking at that hard, just over the course of my career. Where's it been about ego? Even when I may have seen it but not wanted to acknowledge it. I think there have been a lot of times where that's been the case. And I still haven't fully found a way to pitch this method, because the truth is, unless you walk away feeling like shit, I don't think we've done our job. I don't think we've really made a change. And I know that that's not very appealing, as a marketing technique.
Right. No, I absolutely understand. And I think that there is a part of, if you've been given the opportunity to do this method on people, there is that element of, you will receive people who are matching that energy and who are ready for it. And I think that just trusting in that in itself, and realizing that, look, if it goes pear-shaped, it's a learning experience. And I'm not going to take it personally that I wasn't off, the person was off. I don't know what happened, right? But there, you're going to have some losses, you're going to have some wins. But you're going to have more wins than losses. But I think that as long as you stay authentically, true to yourself, and you just keep sharing, that's all that you need to do to show up. Because you can't, if you have ego, it will be shut down before you even start your opening. You will not be able to connect. You can't when you got ego in play. So if you're open and you're connecting, you're ready to go and you're owning it. And I think that you just have to trust that process.
You talking to me or everyone else?
I guess everyone else, because I didn't have that with you. That was my TED talk.
I appreciate that. I'm still working on it, but
everyone is.
Yeah.
But
I think the most important thing that anyone can really do is to be honest with themselves, because I haven't promoted this publicly yet, but whenever I do a consultation with someone, I do present it to them and say, I also am offering this other thing, but just not publicly yet. And here's what it is. Because I think just give them the choice. What do they think? Because at the end of the day, I also realize I don't know anyone better than they know themselves. I think what I've noticed is that even presenting it to some people, and they've made that's the one I want to do. Absolutely, that's the one I want to do. I'm like, okay, well, let's do it. I think that they believe that they're ready for it, but they're not ready for it, which is okay. But I think it is so important for everyone to be honest with themselves about where they're at. And it's okay if you're not ready for it. And I'm a horrible salesman. I would strongly encourage everyone to embark on this process, because I think it has the ability to really make a difference in your life, but only if you're ready for it. That's why I'm still offering the other ones too, because I want
Right.
everyone to be able to have an experience that you're ready for. And the other ones still, they are great. This is just different. It's different. That's the best way that I can put it. It's not love and light. It's not.
No.
It's not.
No.
You're in the dark.
You're in your
the dark.
deepest, darkest part of yourself. And the dark doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can just be that space. It's just a space.
And also, when I say that I've had trouble doing it, because this has been slowly developed over the last couple of years. And it took me a long time to even want to confront. And I'll say, even as recently as 3 months ago when I did this. No, I don't want to look at that. No.
Why do you think it took so long?
Well, one, because I wasn't doing the session for myself.
Okay.
If I'm being honest, there is a level of ego that comes along with being a practitioner where I'm like, I wouldn't do it this way. I wouldn't say it this way. And where I'm too fixated on the way it's being done. And like, I have worked with some amazing practitioners, and I've been having my own regressions for over a decade. And the ego in me still says, I wonder what it'd be like if I gave myself a regression. Like, if I could serve, could I do that? Yes, but I won't, because I think doing a self-regression, there's just too much possibility for conscious interference. And I think I'd be thinking way too much. But then I'm like, I wonder what it would be like if I could actually time travel like a day into the future or a day in the past and give myself a regression. So part of that was me just feeling frustrated with. Again, I'm just going to speak blatantly and bluntly here. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. No way I would, but not really. Very intelligent. Like, you get what I'm saying, right?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I think that every
Try to get over
medium, so every medium especially and practitioner of who I've spoke to has never been able to do themselves. Ask me if I know what's coming tomorrow. Absolutely not. I might have a feeling like, okay, I don't really like this person that I'm meeting. Do I know why? No, because I'm blocked, because now my brain's like, well, she looks like she's got resting bitch face. I don't like that. But I don't know, right? And I can't tap into my own mediumship because of the brain interference. I don't know of anyone who can do it on themselves. So I think that's just like, and it's a part, I know this is kind of weird to say, but I think that's part of the gift, is to be able to receive it and to share, but not to actually be benefiting from it directly. And that's the ego that's been eliminated out of it.
Yeah, and that was a huge part of the process for me, is putting my ego to the side and being like, okay, they're not going to be as good as I am. Because just still, to paint the picture, I would just get hung up on, even during the regression part, like where you're seeing the past life stuff, I get hung up on, you're spending too much time on this. Like, move it the fuck along.
Right. I do that to myself, even in a reading. I'm like, fuck, I've spent 5 minutes talking about their dead dog. Like, no one cares. And you move along, right? But you get a thread and you follow it, and you just have to trust. And I know that ego can play a part too.
Yeah.
But,
So,
exactly.
I had to relinquish that. I'm like, I trust this person who's doing this for me right now. So I need to trust that they're going to be able to do it for me. And just be like, they're not me. And if I actually let them do it, they could be much better than I am.
Really? Do we have to have a talk about this now?
I'm trying to be humble.
Okay. Well, no, there's a line between being humble and owning your power. It's the same, buddy.
I'm good at what I do. I will own that.
Preach it. Preach it.
I'm good.
You are good. You are good.
They don't just give the name The Past Life Regressionist to anyone.
To anyone.
Even though I put the handle in. Really? I got the handle The Past Life Regressionist. I got the website The Past Life Regressionist.
I don't have that on mine. So the universe just rolled out the red carpet. Isn't that a confirmation though? You didn't have to pony up anything.
I think so. So I'm good at what I do.
Absolutely.
I will own that. There is no one out there like me, because I am unique. That doesn't mean that I'm the best though. It means that I am who I am, and I own my own lane. Like, there is no point in comparing myself to anyone else, which, as a past life regressionist, Yeah, that's the other. I don't look at it like, oh, this. In that circumstance where someone's doing the regression to me, I'm not comparing myself to them. I'm just like, I wouldn't do it this way.
Right.
And letting go of that. But other than that, like comparing myself to others is an issue that I have. Ironically, it's not as a past life regressionist, though. That has never been a problem for me. It's just like, you do you. I think you're a fucking idiot for the way that you're marketing. I think you're playing on people's insecurities and their fears a little bit too much.
That shits me to tears.
And it's, and like you said, I'm going out there and promoting this method. You're going to feel like shit. It's not like, hey, come discover when you were like a cat on another planet, or, you were this race or this race. It's like, that's playing to a spiritual ego. Whereas like, hey, make sure you're ready for this. Like you think you're right. Be ready for it. I got other methods, but this is the cream of the crop right here.
There are people out there that actively want to feel like shit because they're ready for it. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're ready for it. And that is no spiritual bullshit.
Mm-hmm. No, there are people out there ready.
There are people, and they will find you. And they will find you. Because I can't tell you, look, I will judge the shit out of your social media. If you're wearing a gaftan and you're on a beach and you say you're a goddess, I'm good for you, but that does not make you better than anyone else out there. It does not give you clout.
It doesn't?
It does not. There is no freaking magic woven in your fucking caftan. I'm just saying.
In their what?
Be in their caftan or whatever, their muumuu or whatever. Cheesecloth. What? You know, the white flowy. Clearly, we need to get you one, Daniel. We need to get you a muumuu. You know, the flowy gown, like they're in the breeze and they're on the beach. And
yeah, that one.
Connect with this goddess. No, bitch, because I am a goddess that just happens to not wear that.
Yeah. So. Well, yeah, it's like, I agree. And look, I gotta jump in and defend some of them right now.
Oh, because that's what you do.
This is what because I think it's important to call a spade a spade. The overwhelming majority of the people who do that I've met are completely full of shit.
Absolutely.
And there are others who I have had that expectation where I'm like, you are going to be completely full of shit when I talk to you or whatever it is, where I've been pleasantly surprised by who they actually are. And I'm like, I don't know why you're wearing this. You don't need to.
You don't need it as a badge of honor. It doesn't have to be your costume.
Mm-hmm. And I
think that, anyway, we're digressing, but Well,
like I think a lot of this conversation has been about ego.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of that still comes from ego. Can I actually have an ego moment? If I'm going to acknowledge it.
Go right ahead.
I'm really fucking proud of myself for when I had you pick up the bones. Like, that was one of those moments. Even then, know what? I'm like, good job, D. Good job.
I remember that moment as being the turning point. And what goddamn practitioner in their loving mind would ask a client to pick up the dead bones of people they slaughtered? You did. You had the balls to do it, but I needed that.
Thank you.
And at the time it may have seemed, or in retrospect, maybe, what the fuck was I thinking? But I needed that. I needed someone who had no restraint, no filtering in that moment. And that's what is so important with this session work that you offer, Expanse Method, is that there is a level of, it's not fear, it's just uncomfortableness. It's really fucking uncomfortable. It sends in your undies at the beach uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And you want to get it out and you want to deal with it, but the only way you can deal with it is to remove the problem. And you are able to hold the space to be able to help that. I'm not saying that you magically remove it, but you hold the space to do it. And it's so much more rewarding when you could have picked up the bones and go, bitch doesn't need this. But it was me that had to do the heavy lifting.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you're able to see that because, I think that perfectly illustrates the picture also of how this is different, because this is kind of what I was alluding to earlier is what I would have had you do is look at that pile of bones and release it. Whereas this time I'm like, no, you're going to go pick them up.
I want to pick it up. I need to motorboat them. I needed to do everything. I know.
I didn't say you needed to motorboat them.
I would have. I would
Okay.
have. If you
Well-
told me to do it, I would have done it.
Well,
But
good to know for the future.
good to know for next time.
Yeah.
But like that was I'm going to share, that was the wife and my unborn child bones that I was picking up that I had taken care of somehow in a past life. And, you know, there is something really startling to hear it, but to experience it in that space. It didn't have that sting to it. So it was just it was a beautiful bone moment. I love that.
I like the way you put that also. Beautiful bone moment.
It's a beautiful bone moment.
That's the best way I can really sum up just this process. You're not going to look at the bones and release them. You're going to pick them up.
Yep.
And it's going to feel uncomfortable because in that space, you can
Absolutely.
feel it in your hands.
Yep.
But we're not here for comfort now. You're going to feel uncomfortable if you allow yourself to. And if you also are listening to this right now and you say to me at the beginning of the session, Daniel, I want you to rip me the fuck apart. I'll be like, are you sure?
Yep.
And you'll be like, yeah. I'd be like, okay.
Don't tell me to stop.
Right?
Because
Okay.
you cannot, if you fucking go in with that statement, you just gotta keep going. You're ready. You're ready.
You know, I have a
There-
question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I should do a meter at the beginning? I've thought about this before. And I've even put it out there a little bit at certain sessions where I've just gotten the feeling, but this was with the other method of, do you want me to go, easy, medium, or hard on you? What do you think? Or just in and of itself, I don't know. Yes, no, maybe
That is a good question because I'm always go fucking hard or go home.
Mm-hmm.
But that's me. I think that in a practical sense, I think that there needs to be a conversation about that before you start. And I think there needs to be a disclaimer. And if you say to go hard, there is no.
I'll have you sign your life away at that point.
That's right. Put your house on collateral. There is no going back from that because you also have now spoken that into existence, right? Like I'm ready. You can't be like, oh no.
I guess so everyone understands what the intricacy is of it or it becomes at that point. It's almost like chess pieces at that point where if you have given me the go ahead, the questions I'm going to ask, because I do get feelings of where this is going to go. I'm going to base off of that. I'm setting up what's coming 5 moves down.
Right.
So it's
but you're not like going in for bones the first 30 seconds.
Oh,
like there is a
absolutely not.
gentle bone foreplay going on before the bones.
what Kylie said.
That's right. Just saying.
Yeah. Can I use that as a testimonial?
You can take that. You can take that. Absolutely.
So there is a method to my madness there. And
yes.
if that even just kind of shows you so about this process that I'm thinking easy, medium, hard.
Right.
Because like if you give me hard, that's also where I'll have to restrain my ego at that point to be like, yeah.
But I'm going to tell a quick story, right? So I've got a 12-year-old and all she wanted to do was go to her first haunted house this Halloween. And I'm like, girlfriend, you jump at a shadow, but we'll take you. So I took her with her friend and they gave her the option at the beginning, easy, medium, or spicy. She went, I'm like, listen, I didn't drive all the way. I didn't pay the money for you to go weak. You've got to man up, woman up, go do it. She did hard. She held herself throughout the whole thing. She was composed. She didn't scream. She came out and she's like, okay, I think I want to do it again, but I want to do the easy way. And I'm like, but you already did the spicy way. Why would you want to go easy? And she's like, that was enough for me. That was enough. And I don't want to do it again. But the thing is about your session is that I don't feel like I need to go spicy again. Like I wouldn't need to go hard. And I could see how people maybe coming into it want to go easy, but it's a cop out to me. I'm like, you've got to let the energy flow where it needs to go. And maybe hard is not hard. Maybe it's enough. And then you're restraining yourself at that point. So I think you just got to trust and let them take you where it's got to go. And just give them a little bit of a gentle push, like we're going fucking spicy and you don't even know it, and just take them through. And then they will let you know through it if it's too spicy. That was my story.
I mean, that was actually, I like the philosophy there. That was good. And remind me not to go demon hunting with you when I say, oh no, I'm only ready for one.
No, we're going. Yeah.
We're throwing you in the pits of hell.
Absolutely. If you don't come out with physical scratches, then it's not a good time in my book.
With all that, where can everyone reach you?
Kylie Kay, KYLIEKAY.com. Just go there. Everything's there. I'm basic, simple.
You want to just give a pitch also for Your Soul Wisdom?
Oh, sure, I guess. So I'm on a podcast with 4 other ladies that talk everything from everyday problems to spirituality in like a very girl gang, as Daniel likes to call us, the girl gang kind of way. Your Soul Wisdom, I think it's show.com. You can go to Kylie Kay and it'll link you over there. Kiana's going to kill me for not knowing that.
But she runs 4 other people to
I know, whatever. You'll figure it out, but it's Your Soul Wisdom.
And it is a very fun podcast to come on. It's also probably one of the most intimidating podcasts I've gone on.
Yeah, because there is 4 menopausal and perimenopausal. 5, that's right, because you know Yana's there too.
Oh, yeah,
that's right. I'm perimenopausal, and we don't have time for bullshit.
Yeah.
So if you want no nonsense menopausal talk, let's go.
Yeah,
that's
fun.
why you probably try to go gentle with you though.
Huh?
That's us trying to go gentle with you.
Oh, I can handle it.
Okay, spicy level next time.
Spicy level next time. Yeah, fifth time will be a charm.
Brilliant.
I mean,
love it.
Throw me the lion's den on Your Soul Wisdom.
Get in there.
I mean, I'll go toe to toe with all you guys.
All right.
And then some of you guys will line up behind me, and then we'll switch off. We'll do tag teams.
Why you're not doing this? No, okay, I know.
No, that's also after the show when we talk after when you guys all
that's
gang
the
up
after
on
hours. We rip you and like question everything you do.
Whatever you see on the podcast, you guys come at me 10 times harder after. I'm like, let's do this. Yeah,
that's right. I love it. But you're okay. You survived.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great show to come on, and you guys just have a great dynamic. It's like The View for spirituality.
You know what? I would love to be compared to The View if I actually liked the ladies on The View, but it is like that.
As I said that, I'm just saying. I don't know if this is going to be a compliment. Well, like, I guess, like, last thing what I meant with that is that it's just that feel where it's like,
the vibe of it.
Exactly.
It's like we're sitting around a table.
But yeah, you're at the table.
Just drop and replace us in there.
Right. And then one of you is drinking the coffee and the other one's like, resting on your, I don't know about that. And then you got your conservative voice over in the corner.
That's right. I'm not identifying with any of that. I'm just saying.
There have been some very, very fun spirited conversations I've had with you guys that I have enjoyed massively. And it's just, it's just so fun for me to, like, the very first episode. I don't think I ever told you guys about this, but I drew out a chart in front of me of like the boxes and I put your names there because I only knew Yana going into it.
Right.
And
you jumped in.
I knew Rachel also.
Yeah, probably.
But I didn't know any of you guys. I didn't know you, Amanda, or Lauren.
Right.
And just like, this is so overwhelming. I may forget their names. I know their names right now, but my God, if I may even forget Yana's name. So I put Yana still in like, top left corner.
Because let's just say we really like getting in and like making you think about certain things. You're like our little pet project. And I say that with all love and infinite love and gratitude. But
yeah, well, it's okay. My ego can handle it. Yeah. Well, one day you guys are going to bring me on, and that's the point when I'm going to be completely gray. Where, you guys will, you'll be there. Just put it that
You'll
way.
get there. Oh, you're everything you are because of us and our insight. No, I'm kidding.
And I'll be like, yes, yes.
I can't wait. We'll be out of menopause, so let's see where that hits.
Yeah, and I'll be cool. But yeah, anyways. This has been great having you on. Thank you so much. And thank you for being a participant in the Expanse Method. And yeah, just cheers to the present.
Yeah. And like cheers to the future too, because this shit's going to blow up. Just saying. That's my enlightening final words.
Fellow time travelers, your journey through time awaits you. Just want to thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. And if you're interested in discovering who, when, and where you have been throughout time, and you'd like to book a session with me, just go ahead and send me a message on Instagram at The Past Life Regressionist, or you can reach me through my website, yourpastliferegressionist.com.